Hey, welcome to another sample CKA test video. I am an Azure Administrator, an Azure Security Engineer, an Azure Solutions Architect, and a certified Kubernetes application developer. CKA sample test question 8, DNS. I went back and forth on the skill level for this one. I gave it a medium, but it could be rated difficult. This question covers the services and network topic of the CKA official curriculum. In particular, we'll be covering pod to pod communication and Kubernetes service. The sample question: create a pod that runs a BusyBox image 1.28. Username busy28. Expose the pod on a cluster IP address. Configure the pod and service such that DNS name resolution is possible. And use the NSLOOKUP command to verify and save the results in a file named q8.txt. Now, the CKA exam is a little tricky in the sense that there are no multiple choice questions on the exam to test your theory, but they do test your theory by posing questions like this one. This question could be very confusing if you did not realize that DNS name resolution is automatically configured when you define the service. It's all done for you. So don't let that trip you up. All right, let's get started. Okay, another CKA question for us to tackle. Step 1, we're going to create a pod that runs BusyBox. We're going to give it a certain name, and we also want to expose the pod on a cluster IP address. We could do this in 1 step, 2 steps, or even 3 I could think of. But we're going to go all in one command line step into a YAML file. So let's go. So we're going to do kubectl run our name busy28. Image is going to equal to BusyBox 1.28. And then we're going to say the word expose. Let's do a help. And somewhere in here, if memory serves me correctly, we should see, there we go, expose equals false. That's the default. If true, create a cluster IP service associated with the pod. Boom! Saves us a lot of time there, and then requires the ports. Excellent. So we'll come down here, clear our screen, get back to where you were, and we'll say expose equal to true. It gets us our cluster IP, and we have to give it a port. And let's give it 2828. And type this out to a YAML file. And we'll just call it Q, excuse me, 8 YAML. Forgot a little dash. Excellent. Let's go take a look at our YAML file. And it's great. Here we have up here, we have the service being defined for us. All defined. And then in our pod, we have everything defined for us already. So that's good. The only thing we need to add, since it's a BusyBox, is going to start up and quit right away. So we're going to need to add some kind of command to keep it running. And I think the best way to do that is the sleep command. And if you type init containers in the search, you'll come to here, and you'll come to this right here. Very easy, especially if you're not so great with Bash. I'm more of a Windows guy for years and years, so I'm pretty good at PowerShell, but very weak compared. If you compare my PowerShell skills, my Bash skills, they're pathetic. So I rely heavily on this, especially when I took the CKA exam. A lot of examples, a lot of great examples of documentation. But anyway, let's come back here to our pod. And come down here. And paste. That looks good. WQ, save it. Then we'll just do a, let's see, expose the pod. Let's go ahead and create it. Running, excellent. And let's just do a kubectl get service. And we'll say busy 28. Let's see, probably won't get any more details than what was above. Let's write out a cluster IP address. We do a describe. And really the best, most important thing, well, a lot of important stuff you see in this command for troubleshooting purposes. But usually if you get an endpoint, you're cooking. So we got a selector. So we got a selector and have our endpoints. So more than likely, our service is going to work out for us. All right, let's go on to the next step. The beauty of this next step, there really shouldn't be anything to do. It's all done for you. We can check a few things out just to make sure things are working for us, or have an understanding of what's going on. I do a kubectl get all namespaces. You can see I have 2 pods running core DNS. So that's my DNS there. If I wanted to do something like kubectl logs, example on one of them, to see if everything's going okay there. Let's logs. Oh. Cube system. There we go. So everything's looking pretty good there. No errors in that one. If we want to check the other pod, just in case. That's this one here. Whoops. No problems there. So that's all pretty good. So for the pod server, such that DNS name resolution as possible. Done. Okay, now for our final step. See if check out the DNS. So I'll do a whoops. Gotta get some focus on my screen here. kubectl exec IT for interactive. If you guys never seen this before, That means you never watch any of my CCAD videos, and shame, shame, shame. But I'm going to actually log into the pod interactively and run a command inside of it, or run a command against it. So name of the pod, busy28, and then the command I want to execute, NSLOOKUP, and then the command. So NSLOOKUP on busy28 on the pod, and there we go. DNS is working. Another full credit on the question. Thanks for watching.